All right, heat number one about to go. Green flag racing. And it looks like we got the 471 Eric Pamasco sitting in the third row. The '07 also back there. Let's see, Cupcake's way back there in the back. You're going to have to make your way up a little bit there, Mr. Cupcake, but I know you can do it. There is the 64. He was extremely fast in practice. Jason Pelkey was. He was at the top of the speed charts. Just looking through the points here. Now we've got to keep an eye tonight on Nathan Wenzel, Randy Phillips, and Tony Quadros. Tony had a rough start to the season. He started making his way back up. Eric Steele and Eric Pamasco round out the top five, and then you've got Jason Pelkey and Jeffrey Ramsdell tied for sixth. So, and the top seven cars are only separated by about 30 points. So a lot of great points battles going on track, as well points battles as well as side-by-side racing here tonight. It will be interesting to see if how these guys work their way around some of these cars. And they will do one lap to green. The pace car will duck off in the middle of 3 and 4. And again, you definitely want to stick around all night. It is going to be one heck of a show. The Northeast Racers are definitely going to put on a show. They will be beating and banging these cars all the way around the track. Then the SR8s at Kentucky, and then the Demolition Derby, which I myself am really looking forward to. All right, green flag is in the air. Heat number one is underway. The 64, Jason Pelkey, really high going off into turn one. Looks like he might actually lose a position there. Here comes Eric Pamasco to the front in the 471. And Jason Pelkey is going backwards quite rapidly on the outside. That can happen here. If you get hung up on the outside, you're going to go back quite a ways if you can't find a gap to jump into, as it looks like Cupcake James Seagroves DeCourcy in the 74 car has made his way up, but so far Drew Davis is just dominating the field. He's actually starting to open up a gap on Eric Pamasco. The 44 of Justin Prescott right behind the two of them, and the '07, that is Jeffrey Ramsdell. He had a rough start to the season. The first few races he got caught in everything. He's had a couple of great races, started making a comeback. We'll see if he can gain some more points here tonight. As they come around the front stretch, it looks like Pamasco has started to close the gap up halfway through this 8-lap heat. He's closed right back up to the back of Drew Davis. Now the question is going to become, it is so difficult to pass here in these cars. Will we see some old bump and run, or the old Dale Earnhardt rattle your cage a little bit? I would expect to see some late in the 75 lap feature, but who knows? Coming down, 2 laps to go here. Drew Davis still managing to, as the '07 is on pit road. And he did not enter pit road the way he wanted to for sure. Looked like he might have gotten a little bump coming through the front straightaway. 1 to go for the 22 of Drew Davis. Now we're going to see if Eric Pamasco is going to use that chrome horn or not. Doesn't look like he's going to get close enough to do it this time. And it will be Drew Davis who wins the first heat. Eric Pamasco second. Justin Prescott third. Cupcake is fourth. Dustin Thibodeau is fifth. Jason Pelkey sixth. Dylan Tester seventh. And Jeffrey Ramsdell in the '07. Rough start to the night. He comes in eighth. Moving on to heat number two. All right, we've got the 46. Looks like he might be on the front row trying to get a better angle. Got the 58 out there to the outside. He is a famous, a favorite. That is Thomas Johnson in the 58 car on the outside. The 46 there to the inside. 17 right behind him. And just while we're waiting on these guys to while we're waiting on these guys to line up, if you're in the south or one of the parts of the country impacted by this extreme cold and whatnot, hope you all are staying warm tonight. Obviously, if you're watching, you more than likely have electricity, thankfully. I hope everybody is staying warm and safe. All right, the 46 will lead them down. Heat number 2. Tony Quadros back there in the 12 car, way at the back of the field tonight. We'll see if he can get back to the front in this heat. He is definitely somebody that knows how to come from behind. He's done it several times in recent weeks, gets caught up, gets all the way to the back, and still manages to work his way back to the front. It will be interesting to see if anybody manages to pull off a pass to the outside here tonight. And we'll see if the 58 can keep from the same problem we saw in the first heat, losing all those positions. Green flag is in the air. 46 gets a good jump. Eric Lauren way out front. Looks like the 58 of Thomas Johnson will be able to duck down to the inside. He is not going to go backwards right now. Those two are nose to tail. Right behind him is the 17 car, Dean Webb. He is up in third. 14. The 14 car has lost a couple spots since they started. That is Kevin Cormier. He was on the outside of the second row. Looks like he is about to slide back. We're seeing these cars get a little bit loose coming through here. That is generally the best way to complete a pass. Wait for somebody to get loose, duck up under them. Back up front, the 46 of Eric Laurendeau is still leading the field. Thomas Johnson right behind him. Thomas Johnson has had an up and down season so far, but he is looking really strong tonight. He actually started to look to the outside a little bit there. Didn't look like he got loose, just looked like he was seeing if he could carry some momentum there. Couldn't make it work. Manages to maintain his position, and the 17 is about to be passed. As Randall Phillips in the 19, he is, as we come to halfway, he is starting to look to the inside of the 17, trying to pick up a position. Randall Phillips currently second in points. And he moves up into third. The 17 manages to fall back into the fourth place position. I'm sorry, the 14 does. 17 has gone back a couple spots now. Coming down to one to go, Eric Laurendeau still leading. He's opened up a bit of a lead on Thomas Johnson. As they run down, now it looks like Eric Laurendeau will win the race. Thomas Johnson will come home second. Randall Phillips comes home third in heat number 2. Kevin Cormier fourth. Dean Webb fifth. Tony Quadros works his way up into sixth place. So obviously Tony Quadros has some luck on his side tonight. All right, go into the quick warm-up session. Great time to go get some popcorn and candy. Get ready to go green flag racing for the 75-lap feature event. And looks like it's going to be a little bit interesting getting off pit road tonight, as you see Cupcake come back up on the track and the 87 car being right there. This track is a bit tricky in any car, especially in these cars. And we've got one off to the inside there, or to the outside, excuse me. He went straight into the outside wall. So we've got a lot of different problems that could go, or a lot of different things that could go wrong. If you get loose, you could end up going to the infield and hitting one of those dirt mounds and go flying. You could get loose and slide up off the track, and you can go a ways on those grass sections. And of course the usual stuff where you can just go sliding out and hit a wall. But this track is a bit different with the two big fields at each end of the track, and it being a constant circle. But because of the difficulty of this track, we might actually see a little bit longer green flag racing until people start getting a bit impatient and using that chrome horn. So far, David Greenslet in the 20 car has been the fastest one on track, followed by Eric Steele, Matthew Kimball, Jarrett Curtis, and Tony Quadros. And it is time to go to the big show. Paul McCoubry will be on the pole for this one. In the 87 car, Matthew Kimball to the outside. Kyle Streeter and Eric Steele are row number 2. Jarrett Curtis and Drew Davis, row number 3. Eric Laurendeau and Eric Pamasco are 7th and 8th. 9th and 10th is Thomas Johnson and Justin Prescott. Then you got Randall Phillips, James Seagroves DeCourcy, Kevin Cormier, Dustin Thibodeau, Dean Webb are 11th through 15. Then Jason Pelkey, Tony Quadros, Dylan Tester, Ryan Courier, Jeffrey Ramsdale, Daniel Sweeney, David Greenslet, Dana Shepard, Rodney Huntoon, and Kyle Buck round out the 25 car field. And very interestingly, I do not see Nathan Wenzel here tonight. Makes you wonder if they're going to have any problems, or if they have a drop race, and if not, Nathan Wenzel is going to lose a lot of points here tonight. And we've got fans cheering on Randy and Cupcake already. So let's go take a quick look. There is the 74, Mr. Cupcake. And the 19 of Randall Phillips is up there. We'll get a look at him when they come to the back side of the track. There he is, just to the inside of the Cupcake. But back to the front for the start of this. Pace car is ducking down pit road. Green flag is in the air. Paul McCoubry gonna lead him down into turn 1. And currently Paul McCoubry still managing to maintain this position. The 50 is stuck to the outside. That is Matthew Kimball. He is trying to maintain his position until he can get a gap somewhere to jump into. Most of that outside line has managed to shuffle into place. And nobody is going to let him in there easily, but that 50 car seems to have a little bit of momentum right now. At least coming off 3 and 4 he was, and they are beating and banging around the track already. 50 and the 87 getting into each other on just about every turn. This track is not, oh, they're 3 wide, and they managed to keep going, but the 87 and the 50 are going to lose several positions. Looks like the 87 is going to fall back to about 7th place, and Kyle Streeter in the 37 is going to assume the lead. Matthew Kimball looks like he fell back into about 4th place. This track is difficult to pass at. We talked about it early on, as the 87 is trying to regain that inside line and regain his momentum. Let's take a ride around the track in the 87 car of Paul McCovery. There you come down the straightaway. What little of it is, you're turning almost the whole time around this track. He cannot find a line. Looks like he might fall in here behind the 22 car. Coming through 3 and 4, you're just constantly turning the wheel. We'll see if he can. He never gets it back to center position. But he does manage to slot in there at about 10th place. In the meantime, Kyle Streeter still up there leading. And opening up a little bit of a lead on the 32. Eric Steele in second place, now over a second behind, and he's got a handful of cars right behind him ready to pounce if he makes any mistake. And a lot of this race will come down to, is there a mistake and can I capitalize on it? Oh, and we got looks like we might have our first caution. Yes, the 58. First caution of the night. Looks like it involves Thomas Johnson. All right, he goes into turn 3. The 19 is right there to the inside, and he checks up. The 19 does not. Gets a little bit of a turn and jumps the dirt mound. We mentioned that earlier on in the pre-race, that dirt mound, those dirt mounds might come into play. And that puts us under our first caution of the night. And the 37 of Kyle Streeter still in the lead. The biggest mover so far has been the 19. And it looks like because he brought on the caution, he is going to have to EOL. He is going to the back of the pack. He was up to 7th from 11th. Right behind him was Kevin Cormier in the 14. Kevin started 13th. He is up to 8th. He has been the biggest mover of the race so far. Back up front, you have Kyle Streeter still leading. Eric Steele comes second. Matthew Kimball in the 50 after that early incident. They got straightened out, but he fell back to about 6th place. He has managed to work his way back up to 3rd. Jarrett Curtis is 4th. Eric Laurendeau is 5th. Thomas Johnson 6th. Randall Phillips 7th. Kevin Cormier 8th, 9th is Drew Davis, and 10th is Paul McCovery, who started in 1st but caught the raw end of the early incident. And I mentioned Randall Phillips is currently scored in 7th. Once they go green flag racing, he should be scored way back about 22nd. So he will have quite a battle to get back up to the front. And I think Thomas Johnson's position, the scoring might be a little bit off on that, but we'll have to wait and see. 1 to green. Here they come out of 3 and 4. Pace car is off. Green flag is in the air. And Kyle Streeter leads them down with Eric Steele to the outside. We'll see if any of this outside row has some problems. I'm sure some of these guys are going to struggle to get back in line and start making up some positions. Great restart by everybody. They stay green flag, and they may not stay green flag much longer. Looks like the 33 got turned to the inside. Caution is out again. All right, looks like the 33 and I do believe that's the 22 were battling really hard. The 33 was off kilter just a little bit, and the 22 got caught. The 07 got caught up in it as well. So several cars involved in that. Most everybody gets by clean, but looks like several cars were involved. And remember, these guys do not have any fast repairs, so this is definitely going to be an interesting race for some of these guys who've been caught up early. Looks like Dustin Thibodeau in the 21 is on pit road. I do believe he got caught in there as well. And Tommy, yeah, Thomas, watch out for the turtles. And got someone cheering for Dean Webb in the 17 car. He is currently running, let's see here. See if we can find Dean. He is, oh, that's not Dean. Hit the wrong button. There's the 17 of Dean Webb, currently in 15th. And of course the 74 of Cupcake is up into 10th. And let's see, Thomas Johnson currently being scored back in 21st after the incident earlier. And looks like Mike Pelkey is in the 64 car tonight. Huge shout out to him, driving for Jason Pelkey tonight. There is Mr. Pelkey. 1 to green, 37 is still in the lead. The 32 of Eric Steele was not able to get down to the inside, advance his position. He didn't lose any positions on the last restart. We'll see if he can make something happen this time by as a pace car ducks in. Green flag is in the air. Kyle Streeter leads him down in the 50, back up into third. He is right on the back bumper of the 37. He's going to try and hold Eric Steele out to the outside. Looks like he's going to do it. Eric Steele is going backwards now, but we've got another wreck right behind him. Looks like the 14 is involved. Caution is out again. All right, looks like the 46 car was on the outside. The 14 got a huge run up underneath of him and just got into him a little bit, and that got him up the track. Several cars are involved, and the 46 ended up on his roof. And looks like the 46 ended up getting towed to pit road. We'll see if he can get back out. Several other cars involved. Don't believe we have anybody out of the race just yet, but with no fast repairs, some of these guys, one of the good things about this track is that it is a little bit slower, so any wrecks are not going to be quite as damaging to the cars. We'll see what happens. Looks like the 46 Eric Laurendeau is going to be on pit road, getting a tow. Hopefully it is quickly enough he does not lose a lap. We've also got Jarrett Curtis in the 33 on pit road as well. There is Jarrett. Looks like he is just driving down pit road. They can get some manual repairs. That looks like that's what he is getting done right now. And Cupcake's dad is in the chat as well. Let's see, Cupcake had picked up one position. He is up to, nope, there he is. There he is. He is back up in 9th place and working his way forward. Let's see, who else has been working their way forward? Kevin Cormier in the 14. Currently being scored in 5th place. Started in 13th, biggest mover of the race so far as we get 1 to green. Just a quick look through. Justin Prescott in the 44 started 10th. He is up to 7th. Of course, Cupcake started 12th up to 9th. And Ryan Courier in the 3. He started in 19th. He is up to 10th. We'll have to watch him closely. Pace car's in. Green flag is in the air. And it looks like the 50 is right back to the back bumper, but the 32 of Eric Steele is making some going for it on the outside. Will he be able to get the pass completed on the outside? That is the question. It doesn't look like he is getting enough momentum quite yet. And the 50 is right back there. It's not on the right bumper. The 32 of Eric Steele manages to slot himself into second place now. 50 left a little bit of a gap on this restart. That gave the 32 of Eric Steele a chance to hop down and get in line. So the front three are in line, but the battle is right behind them. 4th, 5th, and 6th, and here comes Cupcake up to 5th. Started in 10th. He is already up there in 5th place, battling for 4th from the 44 of Justin Prescott, who started in, James started in 12th. Justin started in 10th. These two are working their way to the front together, it looks like. 87 of Paul McCovery right behind him. He started on the pole, ended up at the tail end of the field, has now managed to work his way back up as well. He is in 6th. Right behind him, Tony Quadros. He started in 17th. He is up to 7th now. He is definitely coming to the front. And where the 17 of Dean Webb is now up to 8th. He started in 15th. Right behind him, Jeffrey Ramsdale in the 07. He started 20th. He's up to 9th. And Randy Phillips is in 10th. That 3 car of Ryan Courier looks like he went backwards a little bit on that restart. He was definitely moving towards the front, but he has lost quite a few positions. Front 3 still continue to march away. It looks like they've managed to open up enough of a gap. They're taking it a little bit easier, but the 3 behind them are not. You got the 44, the 74, and the 87 right there together. Cupcake started to look to the inside of the 44. 44 cut that, closed that opening. But Cupcake is right back up there in the 74 car. And he is starting to look to the inside, trying to get to 4th. The 87 right there waiting. As soon as somebody gets to the inside, as soon as somebody gets to the inside, if you're not careful, you will go backwards a little bit here. So we've seen it happen a couple of times. Obviously, a few cars have managed to make passes to the outside, but it is difficult, especially once you get up to speed. And Tony Quadros in the 12 car, currently up to 7th, started in 17th. The 52 is off track, and looks like we've got another car turned in turn 4. No caution yet, but here we go. Couple cars off track. Looks like it's the 44 and the 74. Yes, it is. They clear the track. No caution. They are way out there in the middle of nowhere. They might be out of this thing. Caution is out. And we had several cars go flying off the track there. All right, let's see what happened between these two real quick. The 74 and the 44. Looks like the 74 was managing to get by. 44 dove in, caught the curb, and it upset the car, sent him to the outside, and both of them end up off in the field. Looks like I was incorrect. I did not see any other cars off track at the moment. And we will see if Cupcake can get back to the lead lap. Let's see. I don't know that he is going to lose a lap. We will have to see. It looks like the 64 is back. Well, he was backwards on pit road for a moment. Not sure what happened there. Got a lot of activity going on track right now. Looks like the 07 is also having some difficulty. That is Mr. Ramsdale. He is... Oh, that is his pit box. That is a weird place for a pit box. But alright, so we've got, looks like Cupcake, Jeffrey Ramsdale, Justin Prescott, and Jason Pelkey are all on pit road at the moment. We'll see if anybody loses a lap. Currently, only Dylan Tester, Justin Prescott are 1 lap down. Jason Pelkey is shown 2 laps down. Jeffrey Ramsdale still being showed on the lead lap, as is Cupcake, so we will see how that plays out as we get the 1 to green. Hopefully these guys can get back out there and definitely get some points. Kyle Streeter continues to lead the field around. Pace car is in. Green flag is in the air. Kyle Streeter and Eric Steele. Eric Steele gets a really good jump this time and jumps up to the lead. Will he be able to get down to the inside? He is really pushing it as he comes down the back straightaway. But it looks like he's not going to have the track position. He's going to be stuck there to the outside for the moment. And we are under caution again. Let's see if we can figure out what happened this time. Let's see if we can find a good angle. The 14, the 17, the 3 were all involved in this. As they came into the turn 3 and 4 wide there, it looks like the 3 and the 17 got together and the 12 just got caught up in it. And the 07 once again is pretty beat up tonight. '37 car still in the lead. Barely got the 2 laps in there. You can tell they're definitely starting to turn it up just a little bit. Looks like Dylan Tester, James Seagroves DeCourcy, Jason Pelkey, and Justin Prescott are all still on pit road, although they are not losing a lot of laps. Dylan Tester is 1 lap down, Cupcake is 2, Jason Pelkey is still 2, and Justin Prescott is 4 laps down now. So we'll see if they can get back out and regain a few laps. Dana Shepard also on pit road now. Meanwhile, Kyle Streeter and Eric Steele will get to restart side by side. We'll see if Eric Steele can manage to get around and get to the front. Eric Steele currently 4th in points, 14 points behind Tony Quadros. And Tony is back there currently in 5th. He's worked his way up pretty good tonight as well and managed to stay out of trouble tonight. So he could have a good points night, especially Eric Steele could have a good points night if Tony Quadros stays back there, but we've seen Tony make his way to the front more than once. So back there in 5th, Eric Steele to the outside. There's every possibility that these points could get shaken up. With Nathan Wenzel not here tonight, that should give Randy Phillips in the 19 the points lead. He's currently running in 6th place as we get 1 to green. Randy Phillips 6th place on the track, but he should be bumped up to 1st in the points now. And it looks like they delayed the green to let some of these wave arounds get caught back up to the back of the field. Looks like the 07 of Jeffrey Ramsdale is back out on track. Now we have the 1 to green. And will we see Eric Steele complete that pass for the top spot this time? Green flag is in the air. Eric does not get the good restart this time, and the 50 is right there on the back bumper of both of them. He is looking for any gap to get into. Can't find anything yet. Eric Steele still battling right there on the outside. The 12 car of Tony Quadros now moving up into 4th place as well. And it looks like if the 32 car doesn't find something quickly, he's going to go backwards quite a way, as it looks like Tony's not going to let him into the inside. He's going to slip back. The 32 is going to slip back to 4th, and here comes the 58 of Thomas Johnson. Currently running in 5th place, started in 9th. Tony Quadros started in 17th. He is up to 4th, so you can get around here. Just need a little bit of luck and a fast race car. And it looks like Thomas Johnson might move up. They're doing some beating and banging right there. Thomas Johnson is going to move up to 4th, but he opened the door for Randy Phillips to the inside. And now Thomas Johnson might go back a spot. I don't think the 32 Eric Steele is going to let him in at all. Meantime, up at the front, the 37 of Kyle Streeter continues to lead, but Matthew Kimball is right to his back bumper. And when I say right to his back bumper, he was up under his back bumper there for a moment. We'll see if the 50 can get around him without implementing the chrome horn here. Tony Quadros moves up to 3rd. Randy Phillips is up to 4th. So we're starting to see these points leaders come to the front very, very quickly. Looks like Cupcake might be out. Dana Shepard is still on pit road as well. Jarrett Curtis, Eric Pomasco, and Jason Pelkey all scored one or more laps down at the moment, but all are on track. The 17 of Dean Webb also on a mission tonight. He started in 15th. He's up to 7th. Right behind him is the 3 of Ryan Courier. He'd worked his way up to the front earlier in the race. He was up here about 7th, 8th, slipped back to about 15th or 16th, and he has worked his way back up into 8th place. So a couple of these guys having up and down nights, but working their way forward. It looks like these guys are going to be a lot faster on these long runs. As we get 37 laps in, it is difficult to restart and gain a position. Oh, we've got... Looks like the 12 car managed to recover. Could not tell who he was hitting. I believe that was the 19. The point. Randall Phillips is upside down on pit road. Does not look like it is going to draw the caution. Now we're going to get the caution. Let's see if we can see exactly what happened. All right, looks like the 19, Randall Phillips, inside Tony Quadros there, going into turn 3, and tries not to get into him. You can see him trying to turn it back down, and he hits the dirt and flips it over. Tony manages to recover and get going again, although he lost a lot of positions there. And the caution was brought out so the tow truck could get out there to Randy Phillips. Currently at the front is Kyle Streeter, Matthew Kimball, Tony Quadros, Eric Steele, and Dean Webb are your top 5, followed by Paul McCobrey, Ryan Courier, Drew Davis, Daniel Sweeney, and Eric Laurendeau. Looks like Thomas Johnson has slipped back to about 15th spot. 11th place is Kevin Cormier. Dustin Thibodeau is 12th. Jeffrey Ramsdale is 13th. Jeffrey's had another rough night in that 07 car. Dylan Tester in the 52 is back in 14th. As mentioned, Thomas Johnson's 15th. Looks like Randall Phillips is on pit road. We'll see if he gets back out. But with Nathan Wenzel out tonight, Randall Phillips going several laps down. Tony Quadros, Eric Steele, and Eric Pomasco have a chance to make up a ton of points here. So that might come into play later in the race. You've got these three guys towards the front. Tony Quadros is in third currently. Eric Steele in fourth, and Eric Pomasco back in 17th. That could see points shake up big time after tonight's race. 1 to green, waiting for the pace car to dive down to pit road. The 64 is getting his lap back. Green flag is in the air. And the Days of Thunder car on the outside. Eric Steele Kyle Streeter on the outside, Matthew Kimball in the 50 car is going backwards while I'm trying to learn to speak again. Kyle Streeter in the 37 continues to lead. Right behind him is Eric Steele in the 32 car, but Kyle Streeter is actually starting to open up a little bit of a gap as the 50 of Matthew Kimball has managed to stop sliding backwards just a little bit. Looks like he's going to fall in about 6th place. And we've got a car stop to the inside of turn 3. Have to see if he gets cleared or if we will have another caution. Looks like he got out, but we do have another caution. And I had the... Sorry about that. Looks like the 07 just got into the car to the outside and sent him off the track. Yet again, we've got a car off the track in the turns. And the 07 will fall to the back of the field. 34 laps to go. And looks like Cupcake is cheering on Mr. Pomasco. Let's see, where did he... He is now up to 14th place, so he made up quite a few spots on that last short green flag run we had. There's the 471. $34 laps to go when they restart. Don't forget, after this one, stick around. We will have the Outcast SR8 series from Kentucky, and then they will have their usual race, and then they will have a demolition derby. And an SR8 demolition derby will just be awesome. Currently, Kyle Streeter continues to lead. He's led most of the laps tonight. Eric Steele in second. Paul McCobrey third. Drew Davis is now back up there. He's in fourth. Matthew Kimball slotted back in the line in fifth finally. Dean Webb in the 17. He is in sixth after starting 15th. Eric Laurendeau, seventh. Ryan Kermier, Daniel Sweeney, and Dustin Thibodeau round out your top 10, but it looks like Dustin Thibodeau is on pit road, so he'll go back, and we'll have to see. Jeffrey Ramsdale was sent to the back of the field, so we'll see how who gets 10th place. But it is Eric Steele on the restart to the outside. He's got a much better run than the last restart here. Gets a little bit loose coming off turn 2, manages to hold it down. A lot of side-by-side battles going on here. And the 32 drops in the line in second place. The 50 car, though, he is coming quickly. Matthew Kimball to the inside. He is moving up, trying to take third from Paul McCovery. And the 22 of Drew Davis right behind him. Dean Webb lost a couple of spots on that restart, but Daniel Sweeney in the 31 is working his way to the front in that red and white car there, or red and black, excuse me. As the 46 gets a little bump and sent to the inside. He manages to recover, lost a few spots, but the 31 of Daniel Sweeney, he is on the move tonight as well. 37 car still up in the lead for the moment. Eric Steele losing a little bit of ground to him. The lead is almost a half a second now. And looks like the front about 7 or 8 are starting to open up a little gap back behind them. Dean Webb back in 9th. He's falling about a half a second behind 8th place Tony Quadros. A little bit of a gap starting to open up there in the middle of the pack. That single file racing will definitely help them stay green a little bit longer. But the question is, how long will they be green before they start running into lap traffic? And looks like we've got some battles going on. Further back in the pack. Eric Pomasco just picked up another spot. He is up to 11th now. He worked his way past the 3 car of Ryan Courier. And we've got one almost off the track. That is Thomas Johnson. He was way high in the turn, and caution is out again. All right, looks like the 52 of Dylan Tester came off turn 4 a little bit sideways, and when he managed to get it corrected, he just went to the outside wall. He'd been struggling all night. He gets it turned back around. Doesn't look like he gets very heavy damage, but that brought us under caution again. Back up front, the 37 is leading the race. That is Kyle Streeter. We've got the 64 getting a lap back at the moment, Jason Pelkey. That should put him back on the lead lap. Top 5 right now, Kyle Streeter, Eric Steele, Matthew Kimball, Drew Davis, and Paul McCovery. Daniel Sweeney has managed to work his way up into 6th from a 21st starting position. Thomas Johnson managed to recover in 7th place. Right behind him, Tony Quadros is in 8th, and Dean Webb had slipped back a few spots, but he has managed to get himself back up into 9th, and he will probably start moving forward again. Eric Laurendeau is 10th, and Eric Pomasco back in 11th. With just 25 laps to go, things are about to get really heated up. Looks like the 33 of Jarrett Curtis is still on pit road from the last caution. Dana Shepard is out on track, but 15 laps down. Dustin Thibodeau is on track also, but he is 2 laps down. As we get the 1 to green, that will stack back up side by side. Remember, no fast repairs. Some of these guys are just having to stay on pit road, get as much of the car fixed as they can. The advantage of this track, you're never going so fast that you total the car in a single incident, so unless you end up on the dirt and upside down. Green flag is in the air, and the 32 gets a huge jump crash right at the front of the field. The 32 is off to the right, the 37 to the inside, and they stay green. That's going to give the 50 of Matthew Kimball the lead. And now we are under caution. take a look at this incident from a different angle. We saw the 32 and the 37 battling every single restart. Looks like the 32 just trying to pinch him down, got sent. Pinched him down too low and got sent to the outside. Meanwhile, the 37 ends up on the inside, just inside of pit road. So that puts our two leaders, the two most dominant cars tonight, at the back, and that gave the 50 car the lead. Just a hunch, but I'm guessing the 50 cars crew just told them they put on specially matched tires that are match perfect and staggered special. Just a hunch. Everybody's checking up to get the running order sorted out and let the pace car catch up. Have been a few pace car glitches in recent patches, so that is why you're seeing a slight delay here. Is the pace car lost? Here comes the pace car. It is a Ford. They probably had to get somebody to push it. That probably has a lot to do with it. All right. Everybody's moving again. Did not look like we had any incidents under caution, which is impressive for these guys considering such a small track and having to stop suddenly to wait for the pace car. So great job by all these guys under interesting circumstances here. All right, looks like the 50 of Matthew Kimball is going to be lead once the scoring updates, because the yellow flag laps don't count. Scoring will not update until they go green flag racing. So right now it is still showing Eric and Kyle at the front. However, it will be Matthew Kimball and Drew Davis at the front. Paul McCobery will be third, Daniel Sweeney fourth, Thomas Johnson up to fifth, I do believe, Tony Quadros sixth, Dean Webb in the 17, he will be seventh, Eric Laurendeau will be eighth, Eric Pamasco and Ryan Courier round out the top 10. Looks like we will have 17 cars on the lead lap when we restart here. Green flag in the air. And caution, oh, they're delaying the green. And the pace car at least got back out correctly. All right, we will see if the pace car ducks back down to pit road. Everybody trying to get tightened back up real quick as the pace car does duck down onto pit road. Green flag is in the air. The 50 car jumps out to the lead into turn one. The 87 is going to follow him through. The 22 of Drew Davis stuck out there on the outside. He is going to go backwards a couple of spots. We'll see if he can find a spot to get back into line. Here comes Tony Quadros to the inside, and the 31 making a power move to the outside, that red and black Daniel Sweeney. 12 car of Tony Quadros right behind them, and Thomas Johnson in the 58 up to fourth place now. So there you go, Thomas Johnson fan club members. He is charging to the front. He has got a good hot rod tonight. 50 car is opening up a gap. I heard a car go off on the back straightaway. We'll have to figure out who that is here in just a moment. Not able to see who that was. It was neither of our earlier leaders, so. Meanwhile, the 50 car starts to open up a lead. 87 car has moved up into second. 22 managed to slot himself into third. The 58 is currently Thomas Johnson currently in fourth. Eric Laurendeau in fifth. Daniel Sweeney in sixth. Tony Quadros seventh. Dean Webb is eighth. Ryan Courier is ninth, and Jeffrey Ramsdale in the 07, he is back in 10th. Just a quick look through the points. Randall Phillips, second place car in the points. He is currently running 11th. Tony Quadros is third in points. He is up in 7th. Eric Steele, fourth in points, currently back in 17th. Eric Pamasco, fifth in points, is in 12th. And Jason Pelkey and Jeffrey Ramsdell tied for 6th. Jason Pelkey is currently 15th, and Jeffrey Ramsdell is 13th. Some of these guys will pick up quite a few points here tonight. As the 50 car continues to lead him around, he finally got free of those other cars. We've got one car coming off of pit road now. Looks like that is going to be Dustin Thibodeau. He is back on track in 18th, 7 laps down as the 87 looks to the outside coming into turn 1. Hard to carry a lot of momentum there to the outside, but he is definitely pushing it, trying to find any momentum to get around that 50 car. And caution is out with 12 laps to go. All right, looks like we are looking at the 07 of Jeffrey Ramsdell. As he goes off, he slowed down to get out of the way, it looks like, and the 32 and the 64 got together in turn 1 and 2, and the 52 got collected as well. 3 or 4 cars involved there. As pace car leads him around, Thomas Johnson still holding on to 4th place. He will have to restart on the outside, as will the 31 of Daniel Sweeney. Tony Quadros in the 12. He'll start to the inside. Dean Webb in the 17. Looks like he's going to be starting to the outside back there as well. And he'll have the 3 car of Ryan Courier behind him to the inside, so it'll be interesting to see. With so few laps, nobody's going to have any give. There will be no give and take trying to get back in line. They would probably stay side by side longer than we've seen at all tonight. The 07 of Jeffrey Ramsdell now on pit road. As this race comes to a close, the whole top 5 really has just been completely shaken up throughout this battle. Although the 87, he started in first. He went on the second restart. He went way to the back, managed to work his way back up here into second. So we'll see if he has anything for that 50 car. He was definitely fast right before the caution. He was looking for a way around that 50 car, and he was definitely carrying a lot of momentum. So we'll see if he can get it done here. Green flag is in the air. Matthew Kimball leads him down into turn 1. Several cars really well. It looks like the 64 almost went off track again. The 87 is falling backwards as the 22, Drew Davis, jumps up into second place. He's going to bring Tony Quadros with him. And the 58 of Thomas Johnson is going to slide into about 5th place there. And they are going to try and take another position away from the 87 car. This track is just so difficult to pass at. These guys that have made moves to the outside, truly some impressive driving. As the 50 car starts to open up a little bit of a gap, we have got 9 laps to go. Looks like we are too wide for about 7th place. The 3 of Ryan Courier back there. And it looks like they are sorted out, but the 37, the leader earlier in the race, Kyle Streeter, managed to work his way up to 9th. Dean Webb has slipped way back. He is now back to about 13th place. He has had a rough restart this time, being stuck on the outside. He was coming forward very quickly. Seven laps to go. The 50 is still leading. The 22 right on his back bumper. Drew Davis looking for any bobble, any mistake, any chance he can get to get around here and take the victory tonight. And now they have to deal with the 12 car of Tony Quadros, who's back up into 3rd place. Randall Phillips, the 2nd place car in points coming into tonight, just 4 points ahead of Tony. I imagine with the caution coming out, I imagine if they stay like this, Tony Quadros might take the points lead tonight. And I am not finding any incident that brought the caution out. Thomas Johnson currently in 4th. Tony Quadros in 3rd. 2nd place is Drew Davis, and 1st place is Matthew Kimball. He hasn't been up front any this season, but here he is about to win a race here. And yes, I have to agree with the comment from Chris Standridge. I get dizzy at this track too. I mean, I don't get car sick at all, but this track can actually make me get a little nauseous. And with just a few laps left to go, make sure you stick around. We will switch over to the Radical SR8s at Kentucky tonight. And then after their race, we will stick around because they will have a Radical SR8 Demolition Derby. And that will definitely be fun to watch. Hit one of those cars just right, they will jump off the front end of another one, and it is extremely entertaining. We will try a live switch over like we have in past weeks, but last week it glitched and we weren't able to do so. So hopefully we will be able to this week. Pace car is in, single file restart. 5 laps to go. The 50 is going to lead him down. Tony Quadros is starting to look to the outside. He might open the door for Thomas Johnson, but he does not. Not a big enough gap yet. We'll see if he can get up there. Nobody seems to be able to run with the 50 right now, though. 4 laps to go around this 3/8 mile track. This is going to be one heck of a battle. We'll see if the 22 gets to him. Will he use the chrome horn? Will the 12 use the chrome horn? Will the 58? The 87's about to. As Thomas Johnson is trying to hold on to 4th place, the 87, Paul McCobrey, he is right there on the back bumper looking for any opportunity to get around. These front 4 or 5 have spread out just a little bit, but Tony Quadros is now right on the back bumper of 2nd place, Drew Davis. As they come down the back straightaway, it looks like Tony drifted back just a little bit, can't get a run. Coming down to 1 lap to go. The 50 car continues to lead him. The 22 coming right back up to his back bumper on corner entry, but the 50 beats him off the corner this time. And Matthew Kimball wins for the first time this season, followed by Drew Davis, Tony Quadros, Thomas Johnson comes home fourth, Paul McCovery fifth, Daniel Sweeney, Eric Pamasco comes home seventh, Kyle Streeter, after the earlier incident, manages to recover to eighth, Ryan Courier is ninth, Randall Phillips comes home 10th, Kevin Cormier 11th, Dean Webb managed to pull himself back up to 12th. Eric Steele is 13th. 14th is Jason Pelkey. Then Dylan Tester, Eric Laurendeau, Dustin Thibodeau, Jeffrey Ramsdale, Dana Shepard, and Jarrett Curtis round out the top 20. And now it's time to burn what little tires he has left off the back end of that car. And I must comment that in the SR8 race, I found out yesterday that Superman and Thanos are going to be working together. They're calling it the Unholy Alliance. That's a little scary. So you'll definitely want to stick around for that race. Congratulations to the 50 car on his win tonight. Matthew Kimball coming home in first. Congratulations to him. Definitely stick around. If this doesn't switch over cleanly, we will have the next broadcast up in just a few seconds, so don't go anywhere. And thanks for tuning in to the Northeast Racers Hardcore Racing Series.